people, it's me, Anja. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is another Recent Leads video.
Before I get into the books, I wanted to clarify something that I said
in my last Recent Leads video. So I'm very, very grateful for all of my new subscribers. Y'all are great. I just know that it's not a coincidence
that George Floyd was murdered recently, that you guys decided
to diversify
your booktube consumption. I do think that that's great. But I also think
that y'all should have started doing this all along. So anyway, that's what I meant by my statement last week. So anyway, the first book on this list is Ramona Blue, written by Julie Murphy. This is by far my favorite Julie Murphy book. I've read both Pudding and Dumpling
and Dear Sweet Pea by Julie,
and this book was superior to all of them. And I really wasn't expecting that. I had mad low expectations. It was just so
good. It knocked it out of the park. I ended up
rating this 4.5 stars. It's a YA contemporary book, and it discusses such wonderful things,
such as teen pregnancy and sexuality, and I just really
loved it. And the romance was really cute and fluffy without it becoming too
convenient or cheesy. It was just really good, and I really enjoyed it. And I don't really want to explain too much about the
synopsis. Just know that Ramona Blue is such a wonderful character.
I feel like this is one of those books that you should go into it with low expectations and you don't know what to expect at all, because that's how I went into it,
and I ended up really enjoying it.
Because the lower my expectations are,
the more I usually enjoy it. So
that's what I think.
The next book I read is called The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea. This follows two characters, Flora, a desperate orphan turned pilot, and
Evelyn, a high
imperial daughter, and they find a connection on the high seas
in a world that's
divided by colonialism and threatened with magic. I like the fast-paced plot in this book. I like the characters. The romance was cute. I personally felt like this story was a little bit too short. It wrapped up really fast. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a fast reader. I truly felt like this book was too short.
And the ending was very
satisfying. So if there was a sequel to this book, which I don't know if there is,
I wouldn't read it. Because I'm
satisfied with what I read, and I don't really want to continue the series
if there was more, because I don't
think that there should be more.
So this was a
solid YA fantasy book, and
I wouldn't say that it surprised me per se, because with most of these books I had really low
expectations.
So it
surpassed my low expectations because I never DNF'd it, but it didn't surpass it to the point that I ended up rating it 4 stars or anything. So I ended up rating this book 3.5 stars, so I would still recommend it, but please take a note of everything I just said. The next book that I read is called The Everlasting Rose. This is the sequel to The Bells, which I read last week. I suspected when I read The Bells that the second one would be worse, and I was proven correct. I rated this book 3 stars, which is still solid, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I did the first one. I kind of felt like for example, the couple in the first one was very rushed. So in this one, it resulted in a couple that I didn't really care for the development or the dynamic or really the relationship as a whole. The fast-paced plot worked well, which was great, and that was probably my favorite part. The characters, I cared for them less in this book. If there was a third book, I kind of don't want to read it. I know that there's more to the series because there's more of the story to tell. There has to be some sort of conclusion, but I don't care for it as much as I did for this one,
So if there is a
third one, I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to continue this series.
Just because this one kind of fell short. It kind of fell flat.
And I wouldn't say that I regret reading it, but this is a series
that I would definitely DNF if there is a conclusion to it. So
the next book I read is called Mask of Shadows, written by Linsey Miller. This is a YA fantasy book that follows Sal, a gender-fluid thief who's trying to become one of the Queen's assassins. I was intrigued by this book the moment I saw gender-fluid thief in fantasy,
because I feel like whenever people
make a book diverse, they limit themselves to only writing in contemporary, which is great, but I feel like people should also write diversely in other genres, you know? So anyway, Mask of Shadows is a good, solid fantasy book. I completely understand why this book is so underrated, because like it was good, but it wasn't amazing or all that. My feelings for this book kind of reminds me of my feelings for House of Dragons or Felix Ever After. Like it was good and solid, and I do like with this one I do want to continue the series, but I don't think it's all that, you know? So I'm willing to wait for the sequel. I think it's a duology, which is good, because if it was a trilogy, I don't think I would like read the third one, you know? But I'm willing to wait for the sequel since it's not available at my library right now. I'm willing to wait until like physical libraries all reopened, and I don't even know how long that's gonna be. So basically, Mask of Shadows was solid and good, but I completely understand why it's so underrated, because it's not amazing. The next book I read is called The Only Black Girls in Town, written by Brandy Colbert. After really enjoying Little in Line last week, I wanted to give Brandy's middle grade debut a chance. So this is a middle grade contemporary, and it follows Alberta and her new friend Edie, as they're the only black girls in town, and they solve a little mystery. I liked this story. It was good. It was solid. I like that Brandy dealt with, you know, the microaggressions of being the only two black girls in your town, because I feel like when people first think about racism, for those who don't experience it on a daily basis, that they only think of like the graphic, awful, like extreme examples of racism, which is valid, but I feel like people don't always talk about the more subtle microaggressions of racism, because that's really important too, and it's really important to take into account, especially for people who don't experience racism on a daily basis. Like when I say that I experience racism, I don't mean like the graphic stuff, like none of my family members have ever been killed by cops, but I mean like the subtle racism, like when people ask you, oh, you go to college? You go to university? Really? Like they're not expecting like a black person like me to gain that higher education, which is racist, because like everybody can have the same amount of education, even if it's higher education, you know? So anyway, this book was good and it was solid, and but like other than that, other than those microaggressions, it didn't really stand out to me, you know? Like Little in Line is definitely superior, so I understand that this is her middle grade debut, so maybe that's why. So I would, if she wrote another middle grade book later on, I would consider reading it, but this first one is her worst middle grade book. The last book I read is called The Henna Walls. This is a YA romantic contemporary book about two teen girls who have a rival henna businesses at their school, and one of them is a Muslim lesbian and the other one is a Brazilian bisexual, which I really liked, because I feel like with LGBT representation, most of the protagonists are white, which is like low-key frustrating, because like why are they white? They could be also people of color as well. So anyway, I like that representation. I liked the protagonist. As for her love interest, I liked her a little bit less, and because of that, I didn't really like ship them together. Like yes, I understand why other people would ship them, but for me, like I have to like both characters individually for me to ship like the couple. So I found the story to be fluffy, and it was really cute, and it was really like a happy, fluffy story. I would recommend the story if you enjoyed Girl Crushed and Leah on the Offbeat, and like those like sapphic, fluffy, cute, romantic stories. So I ended up rating the story 3.5 stars. So in conclusion, the highest rating book that I read this week was definitely Ramona Blue, and the lowest rating book that I read is Everlasting Rose. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below if any of these books interested you, if my like
recent reads videos helps you narrow down what to read. And yeah,
thanks for watching and subscribe if you're new. Bye.